Ever have that feeling where you just can't stop thinking about a song? Not because the beat is catchy, but because the lyrics seem to reach right into your life and put a feeling into words you couldn't quite find yourself. That's the power of a great song, and it's why we're going to talk about one today. This isn't about music theory or breaking records. It's about understanding that moment, the one we've all had, where we finally understand something, but only after it's already gone. If you've ever looked back and seen things clearly for the first time, then you already know what this is about. Let's get into it. The chorus is a masterclass in exploring a very specific, painful human paradox. We often fail to truly appreciate what we have until it's gone. It does this by laying out a series of brilliant, relatable comparisons that everyone has experienced at some point. The line, "Only know you love her when you let her go," isn't just the core of the song. It's the conclusion drawn from all other examples. It's saying that this failure to recognize love in the moment isn't a unique flaw in romance, but a universal trait of human nature. Each line sets up a familiar scenario of taking something for granted. We never really think about a light bulb until it's flickering and almost out, leaving us in the dark. We enjoy sunny days, but we don't ache for them with a physical longing until we're shivering in the cold of winter. You don't consciously appreciate the feeling of being high or content until you've crashed into a state of sadness and can feel the stark contrast. Similarly, a road is just a road until you're on it, homesick, and it becomes a symbol of everything you're separated from. These aren't just poetic flourishes, they are evidence. The song is building a case that our brains are wired for contrast. We need the negative experience to properly define and, therefore, feel the positive one. This makes the central theme of the chorus not just about regret, but about a painful self realization. The person in the song isn't just sad that the relationship ended, they are frustrated with themselves for their own emotional blindness. They are realizing that they had the very thing they now crave most, but they lacked the perspective to value it properly. The love was likely always there, but it became part of the background noise of life, like the hum of a light bulb or the warmth of a sunny day. It became normal, and normal doesn't feel special. It's only in its absence that the normal is revealed to have been extraordinary all along. The act of letting her go becomes the painful event that provides the necessary contrast, finally allowing them to know what they had. It's a heartbreaking catch-22. You have to lose something to understand its worth, but by then, it's too late. The song captures that moment of painful clarity perfectly, making it resonate with anyone who has ever looked back with newfound and regrettable understanding. While the chorus is a whirlwind of realizations and universal truths, the post-chorus is the cold, quiet landing after that storm of thoughts. It's a single stark sentence, "and you let her go." On the surface, it seems incredibly simple, almost redundant after the chorus that just explained the concept. But its power lies in its function and its brutal finality. The chorus is the why and the what. It's the philosophical exploration of human nature. This line is the action and the consequence. It serves as the period at the end of a very long and complicated sentence, grounding the lofty ideas back into the painful reality of the narrator's story. This line acts like a mantra or a painful echo that the narrator's mind keeps returning to. After the chorus lays out all these beautiful tragic ironies, the mind doesn't stay in that poetic space. It snaps back to the single, devastating fact that caused all this reflection in the first place. It's the moments after the argument is over, when you're left alone in silence with the one thing you can't change, your decision. The repetition throughout the song reinforces the idea that this is the central, inescapable event that everything else revolves around. No matter how much he analyzes it or compares it to snow and sunlight, he can't get away from the core truth. He is the one who let her go. Finally, this short phrase carries the immense weight of responsibility and agency. The chorus happens to us. We don't choose to miss the sun only when it snows. It's just how our emotions work. But this line, "and you let her go," is an active choice. It places the blame and the ownership squarely on the narrator. That word, "you," is crucial. It's a self-accusation. It's him admitting that this wasn't just a thing that happened, like the weather changing. It was a decision he made, likely without the wisdom he now has. This transforms the song from a general lament about loss into a specific confession of personal fault, making the regret even more profound and poignant. It's the difference between saying, "a mistake was made," and saying, "I made the mistake." This verse immediately drops us into the aftermath of the loss, painting a picture of a person who is deeply depressed and stuck in a cycle of self-destructive behavior. The opening line, "staring at the bottom of your glass," is a classic image of loneliness and trying to drown one's sorrows. But it's more than just drinking. It's about looking through the glass, searching for answers or some kind of hope in the only place left to look. This connects directly to the next line, "hoping one day you'll make a dream last," which reveals a sense of desperation. He's not actively building a new dream. He's passively hoping that an old one might somehow magically sustain itself, which he knows is impossible. This sets the tone for a verse full of helplessness and a painful lack of control. The feeling of life slipping through his fingers is crystallized in the line, "but dreams come slow and they go so fast." This is a brutal summary of how much effort it takes to build something beautiful, a relationship, a future with someone, and how shockingly quickly it can all fall apart. It highlights the cruel imbalance between construction and destruction. This leads to the haunting presence of the person he lost. You see her when you close your eyes. She's now a ghost, someone he can only interact with in his memories and dreams. She's no longer a real person, but an idea, a painful imprint that he can't escape even in his sleep. The verse concludes with the narrator's lowest point, a devastatingly low self-esteem. Maybe one day you'll understand why. Everything you touch surely dies is more than just sadness. It's a deep-seated belief that he is the problem. He's internalized this loss not as a tragic event, but as proof of a fundamental flaw within himself. He frames himself as a kind of curse where his very involvement is what causes things to wither and die. This isn't just about missing someone. It's about believing that you are unworthy of good things and that your presence is damaging. It's the psychological groundwork that makes the chorus's realization so powerful. He didn't just lose love. He feels he actively destroyed it, which makes the regret infinitely heavier. The second verse deepens the portrait of grief established in the first, but it shifts the focus from self-blame to the specific, aching emptiness that love leaves behind. It starts with another powerful image of isolation. staring at the ceiling in the dark. This is a step beyond staring into a glass. Now the glass is likely empty, and he's alone with his thoughts in the quiet darkness. This is where there are no more distractions. The feeling is named directly as the same old empty feeling in your heart, confirming that this isn't a new pain, but a constant, familiar state of being. This emptiness is then explicitly connected to the nature of love itself with a twist on the earlier line. Because love comes slow and it goes so fast. This tweak is important. The first verse was about dreams, which are hopeful and personal. This verse is about love, which is shared and relational. The line suggests that the very essence of love, this slow, building, trusting connection, is what makes its sudden absence so gut-wrenching and impossible to process. The verse then returns to the haunting presence of the lost love, but adds a crucial, painful layer. Well, you see her when you fall asleep, but never to touch and never to keep. This highlights the ultimate torture of memory versus reality. In his dreams, she is there, vivid and real. But upon waking, or within the dream itself, there is the crushing realization that she is intangible, a phantom he can never actually reach out and hold. This is the core agony of loss. The person is simultaneously everywhere in your mind and nowhere in your physical world. The memory is perfect, but it's also a taunt because it can never be made real again. The verse ends with what seems like a contradiction, but it's actually a profound insight. Because you loved her too much and you dived too deep. This line reframes the entire narrative. It's not that his love was flawed or insufficient. It was the opposite. He loved completely and without reservation. He fully immersed himself, which is why the loss is so catastrophic. The empty feeling is so vast because the love that once filled that space was equally immense. This isn't about a failure to love properly. It's about the vulnerability that comes from loving someone with your entire being. The pain he feels is not a punishment for doing it wrong, but the inevitable risk of having done it right. It suggests that the depth of his grief is a direct reflection of the depth of his love, making the act of letting her go not just a mistake, but the loss of a part of his own self.